It's been over 100 days since the launch of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and this phone has been my primary since then whenever I'm not reviewing any other phone. I know that it must be shocking for trolls who think that I'm a bona fide Apple fanboy.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Well, it's true. I have over 150 apps installed on my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And right now, it's time for us to do the detailed long-term review of the phone. Hi, I'm Ershad. You're watching Tracker Day English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. Now, one thing I'm super happy about is the build quality. I know that the iPhone 15 Pro Max uses a higher grade, more expensive titanium compared to Samsung.
Apple's probably using about $10 to $15 worth of titanium, and Samsung is using about $3 to $5 worth of the raw material.
But in real life, these things shouldn't matter to us much, and we should let the experts like Zach figure out these things by smelting phones. What matters, however, in real life is the fact that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is a fingerprint magnet, where the S24 Ultra is not. Plus, I'm very clumsy, so I've dropped this phone many times. Like many times. But for the amount of times that I've dropped these phones, there are no dents or major damages to show for, which means that these phones are definitely sturdy. Having said that, the iPhone 15 Pro Max definitely has a few scuff marks, which the S24 Ultra does not. On the flip side, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is actually lighter compared to the S24 Ultra. Using titanium has made the phone lighter than the previous generation iPhone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's not really true for the S24 Ultra. The titanium doesn't make any difference in the weight. This is still a very heavy phone. In fact, the S24 Ultra is so heavy that I refuse to use it with a case after a couple of weeks. At the same time, the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I've been using it with a case. In fact, I just removed the case right now for the sake of this video. And the case has scratched up a lot as well. Also, the S24 Ultra is not just heavy, the flat bottom actually digs into your palms. So it's kind of uncomfortable to hold compared to the 15 Pro Max, which is more comfortable to hold. I took a gym membership just so I can lift this phone. I'm kidding, Samsung fans, before you swarm the comments. And while you guys are doing that, why don't you hit the subscribe button and help us reach 1 million subs by the end of 2024. And you know what? If you guys make that million happen, I'll do a clean shave. I'm not kidding. And I look like a plucked chicken. You guys want to see it. Of course, Samsung fans generally buy the Samsung Galaxy S Ultra phone for the S Pen, but I don't have much use for it. Apart from when I want to take a quick note sometimes, but you guys really don't want to see my handwriting. It's awful. Anyway, the S Pen itself hasn't changed much from the S23 Ultra, so there's not much to talk about either. But there's one thing that people were talking about is that the S Pen smells bad. And it does. It smells burnt, like a cigarette. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health, so keep that in mind, but it does smell burnt. And the reason for that is that the S Pen is inside this holster, which is very close to the internal components, and the internal components heat up, and that heats up the plastic. Think of it like when you park your car outside in the sun, and when you open the door for the first time, you have that weird smell. Yeah, that smell. Is that a problem though? Not really, unless you have a fetish for smelling tech products. Because apparently nowadays there are fragrances being added to tech products. Going flat with the display is possibly the best decision that Samsung could make. It's top-notch OLED goodness. And the display is extremely bright outdoors and super non-reflective thanks to that anti-glare coating. I have no qualms with the touch response, that's been fantastic too. But I do have one problem with the S24 Ultra's display, and that is the haptic feedback. It's kind of soft, it's not as impactful as some other phones that I've tested. Now, there's one big controversy around the display where people are saying that it is looking grainy in low brightness. Honestly, in my unit, there's absolutely no problem. In fact, we have 2 units in our office. Both the units don't have a grainy issue problem. I don't want to discount users' experiences, but I want to understand what the problem really is. And by the way, we didn't notice any green line, purple line, yellow line problem on our S24 Ultra. Touchwood. And the anti-reflective coating doesn't mean that the display is not a fingerprint magnet. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet. I have to keep wiping it off. Also, the Corning Gorilla Armor display on the S24 Ultra is actually tough, but it's not entirely scratch resistant. I have a few scratches to show because I haven't used a tempered glass or a screen protector with the phone. Having said that, my iPhone 15 Pro Max's ceramic shield scratches up like crazy. It actually scratches more than our Studio Cat Alexa. Alright, talking about the speakers, they're loud, they're rich, they're detailed. Again, very, very good. But there's a problem that's specific to Samsung, and that is the fact that Samsung doesn't support open source high-res Bluetooth codecs like LHDC and LDAC. It only supports the scalable codec, which means that you're tied in to Samsung products. That defies the nature of Android, which is meant to be open source. Samsung, please support LHDC and LDAC. Now talking about performance, it's been fantastic with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 inside the S24 Ultra. First and foremost, it's smooth, it's fast, it's very responsive, absolutely no stutters whatsoever. But that apart, I've been doing a ton of gaming on the phone as well, partly due to the fact that it has a flat display, but also because it's a big display. So I finished Thimbleweed Park entirely on the phone, 15 hours of gameplay, and I'm also playing a lot of GTA San Andreas thanks to Netflix offering it along with the subscription. And I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact too, which I know is a very popular game for testing, and we tested it out. So I ran the game at highest graphics and 60 frames per second for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I got an average frame rate of about 59 point something FPS, which is not the best, but it's still very, very good. However, I did see some FPS drops in some crowded areas where I was fighting some monsters. Is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra the best phone for gaming? No, iQOO 12 does it better. But the S24 Ultra is no slouch, and you can game on it without having to worry about the phone heating up. Yes, the phone doesn't heat up that much. In fact, phones like the Xiaomi 14 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Pro Max actually get hotter. Now, the major reason why I use the Galaxy S24 Ultra daily is for the software experience. On an Android phone, this is the best software experience. You get One UI 6.1 based on Android 14, and this phone has been getting the latest security updates as well, which is fantastic. And Samsung has promised 7 years of software updates for the S24 Ultra. Now, I know people who buy the S24 Ultra will not use it for 7 years because they can afford the S25 Ultra and the S26 Ultra. But it's a good promise to make. Of course, the entire software experience is polished, but I have 3 specific reasons why I can't move away from the S24 Ultra. One is Samsung Wallet. I know Google Wallet has launched in India, but Samsung Wallet is deeply integrated in the system. To just pull up the card from the bottom of the page and to make a payment with an NFC tap, fantastic stuff. Plus, I can add all my important certificates from DigiLocker to it. I can even add my, flight bookings to Samsung Wallet itself. It's very, very useful. And secondly, that new circle to search feature, yes, it's a Google feature, but it works exceptionally well on this phone, and I've been using it a lot. And finally, Good Lock. Ask any Samsung fan and they will swear by Good Lock. I've actually been using Good Lock to create a 7x7 grid in the app drawer. I really like to use all of that extra screen estate to show more of the icons. And I also use Good Lock for creating a different layout of carousel when you open the multitasking panel. But the bigger question here is, have I used the Galaxy AI features extensively? Well, not extensively, but these features do come in clutch, especially the translation feature. For example, we were trying to buy the Apple Vision Pro first so that we can make a video for you guys, and we were talking to a seller in Hong Kong and they were talking to me in Mandarin. I was trying to respond to them in Mandarin. Damn cool stuff. It works, and it works really well. Now, battery life on my S24 Ultra has been good. So I get anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of screen on time depending on my usage. Essentially, if I'm gaming, then 6 hours. If I'm not gaming, regular usage, 8 hours easy. I'm pretty certain that there are S24 Ultra users in the audience and they've had fantastic experience with the battery life as well. Even the software updates haven't taken a hit on the battery, so that's very, very good. But of course, you don't get a charger inside the box of the S24 Ultra, so you will have to buy one separately. Now, I have to acknowledge the fact that we are privileged enough to get a lot of, these accessories. So I've been using a StuffCool 65 watt GAN charger, which also supports PPS. So I get 45 watt charging speeds on the S24 Ultra. And the phone tops up in about 70 minutes, and I'm okay with that. But we've seen faster charging phones and the benefits of fast charging as well. Hopefully the S25 Ultra will have faster charging speeds. Well, a man can dream. Now, while the phone has been fantastic, I wasn't too enthused about using the cameras itself. See, the cameras are not bad, but there are issues that Samsung needs to fix, and apparently a fix is coming, which has been delayed from March to April to May to now June. Now, regardless, the primary camera captures a lot of details. The colors are close to natural to this time around. In fact, I particularly like the skin tones with the 5x camera and the portrait shots that we got with the 5x camera. It looks very impressive. But for telephoto shots beyond 5x, Samsung actually uses AI to enhance the image, and the kind of details that it captures are very artificial in nature, especially when you go 10x or 20x, 30x. I'll be honest, I'm sorely missing that proper, 10x hardware from the S23 Ultra. The ultra wide angle camera on the S24 Ultra is pretty good. It's sharp, it's detailed, no complaints there. And the low light performance across lenses has been pretty good, but not as good as something like the Vivo X100 Pro or the Xiaomi 14 for that matter. But the selfie camera on the S24 Ultra is the best of the lot. Whether you're shooting in daylight or low light, you get excellent selfies until it falters in HDR selfies, because HDR selfies, if there is a bright background, then trust me, Samsung will overexpose it. The HDR algorithm is tuned well with the primary camera, but not with the selfie camera. Now, video recording has also improved by leaps and bounds. The quality is good, whether it's in daylight or low light, and you can trust it to shoot good videos like any flagship should. But when it came to situations where I needed to use a camera for professional work, for example, for shooting our short videos in MWC, I ended up using the iPhone 15 Pro Max because that is a more trustworthy camera for video recording. No Android phone has managed to beat the iPhone, and I don't know if they will either. Fingers crossed they do. Now, if the S23 Ultra was in the top 3 camera phones across the world, the S24 Ultra is in the top 5. Because you've got the Find X7 Ultra, you've got the Vivo X100 Pro, you've got the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, you've also got the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And I'm definitely missing out on a few names as well. For example, the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra, which apparently has topped the DxOMark score now. Alright, is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra the best camera phone? No. Is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra the best gaming phone? No. Does the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra have the best battery life, best charging speed, best display? No. And yet, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is the best Android flagship that you can buy right now, and possibly deserving of the tag, the king of Android phones. And if you're asking me how, it's because it's more than just the sum of its parts. To me, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has achieved the "it just works" cult status. And if that sounds familiar, that's exactly what people say about the iPhone. Slowly but steadily, the Samsung Galaxy S series is turning out to be that Android phone that most Android users aspire to own one day. So what do you guys think of the S24 Ultra? Do you like this video? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.